let's come into a seated position. All right, let's come into a seated position. Hands together. Place your hands in the center of your chest. We're going to tune in. This is going to connect us with ourselves. This is going to connect us with our higher selves and the golden chain of teachers. So we're going to chant Ong, Namo, Gurudev, Namo. So inhale. Ong, Namo, Gurudev, Namo. Ong, Namo, Gurudev, Namo. Ong, Namo, Gurudev, Namo. Inhale. Adgudename, Chugadgudename, Satgudename, Siddhigurudev, Vainamen. Adgudename, Chugadgudename, Satgudename, Siddhigurudev, Vainamen. Adgudename, Chugadgudename, Satgudename, Siddhigurudev, Vainamen. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, let's come into mountain pose. We're going to start in our standing position. So we're coming into mountain pose. So stand up really tall. Feet together, knees over your ankles, hips over your knees. Slightly tuck your tailbone in, roll your shoulders back and down. Feel the expansion across your chest. You want to slightly tuck your chin in. Stand up really tall. Distribute the weight forward and back, left and right. You want to evenly distribute the weight in your feet. You may notice that you carry weight in one side more than the other, so you want to evenly distribute it. Maybe you find yourself like putting all your weight on your right foot or your left foot. So you want to evenly distribute it forward and back, left and right. And then you want to feel like there's a string being pulled through the top of your head. So stand up really tall. Okay, we're going to do some forward folds to warm up the spine. Hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up really tall. Exhale, come forward. Inhale. Come onto your toes. Exhale. So inhale up, exhale down. So start to activate those yogic breaths. Let's do one more inhale. Reach up, exhale, big circle with the arms, coming down onto the heels. So stand up really tall. Okay, so let's do some hip rolls. So feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, and then we're going to come forward. So we're still warming up the spine. Come over to the left, to to the back, to the right and down. We'll do this 3 times. If you haven't started to activate your breath, start to activate those yogic breaths. So inhale, push your belly out. Exhale, push your belly in. Let's do one more. And then come back to center. Let's do that on the other side. So come forward. We'll do 3 to the right. Take some deep breaths. Let's do one more. And then come back to center, come back to mountain pose, Tadasana. Ground yourself. Roll your shoulders back and down. Hands equal by the sides. Slightly tuck the chin in. Okay, let's do eagle pose, Garudasana. So we're going to find a point in front of us to help us balance, and then bring your right arm up, bring that left arm under, and then bring that right foot over. Take some deep breaths here. Release that, shake that out if you need to. Okay, let's come back to mountain pose. Let's do some shoulder rolls. So we'll do 5 to the back. And then we'll do 5 to the front. Come back to mountain pose. We'll do eagle pose on the other side. So find that point in front of you to help you balance, and then bring your left arm up, bring your right arm under, and then bring that left foot over and do a curtsy. This is a balancing pose as well. Release that, shake that out if you need to. Okay, let's come back to mountain pose, Tadasana. Hands equal by your sides. And we're going to do 3 neck rolls. We'll do 3 to the right, so chin to chest. Just take your time. And when you're finished, come back to mountain pose, Tadasana. And we'll do that on the other side. So bring your chin to your chest, 3 to the left. And then come back to mountain pose, Tadasana. Okay, let's do half moon pose on the right side, Ardha Chandrasana. Inhale, reach up really tall. Come onto your heels and then come over to the left. So feel this stretch all down the right side, the left side. Breathe into your rib cage. And then take one more deep inhale. Exhale, come back to center, big circle with the arms. Let's do that on the other side. Inhale, reach up really tall. Come onto your toes. Exhale, come down, come over to the left side. So now feel the stretch all down the right side of the body. You're going to take some deep breaths. Just send your breath to those tight spaces. Our spine gets compacted all day long from gravity. So we're creating all sorts of little spaces in between our vertebrae. So really reach, take deep breaths. Inhale, and then exhale, come back to center. Big circle with the arms. Let's come into a half forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale. Really reach up, create lots of space in your spine. Reach up, inhale, deeper. Come down to your toes. Exhale, come forward. Let your head go, let your neck go. Make sure you're taking really deep breaths here. You can shake your head yes and no if that feels good. And then slowly come to the top. Your head's going to come up last. One vertebra at a time. Come back to mountain pose, Savasana. Stand up really tall. Distribute the weight forward and back, left and right. Okay, from here, let's do half moon pose again. We'll do it on the right, start on the right. Ardha Chandrasana. Inhale. Reach up really tall, stay here, and if your ankles are going over to the sides, straighten your ankles. And then come down, come over to the right. So if your ankles flare out, that means you have weak ankles. Mine do that all the time. So you want to make sure you keep your ankles straight. So take some deep breaths, really breathe into that left side. Take one more deep inhale. Exhale, come back to center, big circle with the arms. Okay, let's do that again. So inhale, so reach up really tall and stay here. So if your ankles are going to the sides like that, you want to make sure they're straight. We're strengthening the ankles by doing this. And then come back to center and come over to the other side, come over to the left. So really start to deepen your breath. Start to activate that ujjayi breath, that windy breath. Kind of sounds like Darth Vader. And then take one more inhale. Reach to the left, exhale, come back to center, big circle with the arms. Let's come into Uttanasana, half forward fold. Inhale, reach up really tall, come down to your heels, and then come forward, bending at the hips. Take some deep breaths here. Let your neck go, let your shoulders go. Let anything else go. Take some really deep breaths. And then we're going to inhale and exhale through the mouth. So inhale.
So we're going to do that again. Exhaling through the mouth really activates that parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest nervous system. So we're going to inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. So inhale. And take one more deep inhale. Exhale and slowly roll to the top. Your head's going to come up last. Come back to mountain pose. So center yourself. Slightly tuck your chin in. Pull your shoulders back and down. Okay, so let's do neck rolls. So bring your chin to your chest. We'll do 3 to the left. Just take your time. Really working on the neck, the shoulders, and the back. So just send your breath to any of those tight spaces. When you're finished, come back to mountain pose, Tadasana. Let's do that on the other side. So bring your chin to your chest. Do 3 to the right. Then come back to center. Come back to mountain pose. Okay, from here, let's do a balancing pose. Let's do bumblebee pose. So you're going to find a point on your mat to help you balance. And then we'll start with the left leg. We'll hover the right foot up, balancing on the left foot. So arms stay parallel. Find that point on your mat to help you balance. And then start to hover that right foot up. This is a balancing posture. You want to still make sure you're breathing. Don't hold your breath. And then slowly start to bring that right foot down. Shake that out if you need to. Let's do that on the other side. So find the point on the mat to help you balance. We want to make sure we're not holding our breath. Okay, and then start to hover that left foot up. Keeping our foot flexed, we are not pointing that left toe. And slowly come back to center. Shake that out if you need to. Come back to mountain pose. Okay, let's come to the front of our mat. We're gonna do sun salutations. So bring your hands to your heart. So we're going to come into our back bend, and we're gonna protect our low back by lifting through the rib cage. So bring your hands to your heart. And then we're gonna inhale, reach back through the rib cage. Exhale, stay here. So we're gonna do that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Do one more time so you can lift back a little bit further. Inhale. And then exhale, come forward, bending at the hips, coming into our forward fold. And then we're going to come into a halfway lift, so placing the hands on the shins, bringing the shoulders onto the back. We're just creating a really flat back here. We're lengthening the spine. Pushing the hands into the shins, reaching the top of the head forward. Inhale. Exhale, come down, half forward fold. Then bring the right foot back into a high lunge. Some deep breaths here, and then bring the left foot back into plank. Butt stays low, shoulders over the wrists, feet together. Zip your navel in towards your spine. Rock the weight forwards. You take some of the weight out of the wrists into the front of the hands. Elbows stay by your sides. You can come onto your knees and come halfway down into chaturanga, and then come all the way down. Let's come into Sphinx pose. Elbows stay under the shoulders. Inhale, gently look up. Roll your shoulder blades back and down onto your back. One more inhale. Exhale, come down, reach back into downward facing dog. So feet hip width apart, hands hip width apart. Drive your weight towards your heels. Take some really deep breaths here. We're lengthening the spine. Pedal your feet left and right if that feels good. So we're looking between our feet. Keep that in mind. And then look forward, bring that right foot forward into a high lunge. And then bring that left foot forward and slowly roll to the top. Your head's gonna come up last. Just take your time, one vertebra at a time. Come back to mountain pose. Okay, we're gonna do that on the other side. So bring your hands to your heart, come to the front of the mat. I guess my computer is running out of battery. So if this closes, I'm really sorry. I did not bring the charger today. So shoot. I really hope this lasts. If it doesn't, I'm so sorry because it says I need to plug it in soon. Shit. Ah! Hold on. Okay. If it shuts off, I'm sorry. I honestly thought it was gonna last. Let me see if I have anything else open. Okay. Do sun salutations on the other side. So come to the front of the mat, hands to your heart. Okay, we're gonna inhale, reach back. So stay here, we're lifting through the rib cage. So inhale, reach up, exhale. So we'll do that one more time, really reach back, inhale, exhale. We'll take one more inhale, and then exhale, come forward, bending at the hips. Coming into our half forward fold. And then we're going to lift halfway up, so press the hands into the shins, bring the shoulders onto the back. Really press into the shins, creating a really flat back, elongating the spine, creating lots of space in between our vertebrae. Then take one more inhale. Exhale, come down. And then from here, bring the left foot back into a high lunge. Just take some deep breaths here. And then bring the right foot back into plank. Feet together, make sure your shoulders stay over your wrists, keep your butt low, zip your navel in towards your spine. And coming down on your knees if you need to, chaturanga, come halfway down, elbows stay by the sides, and then come all the way down. Let's come into Sphinx pose. So elbows stay under the shoulders. Roll your shoulders back and down, gently look up. Really breathe into that heart chakra. One more deep inhale. Exhale, come down. Push back into downward facing dog. So feet hip width apart, hands hip width apart. So drive your heels down towards the mat. Pedal your feet left and right if that feels good. This time look up towards your navel. And then look forward. Let's bring the left foot through into our high lunge. Some deep breaths, breathe into that right hip flexor. And then bring the right foot forward and slowly roll to the top. Your head's gonna come up last. Just come up one vertebra at a time. Come back to mountain pose, Tadasana. Okay, let's come into a seated position. Actually, let's come into child's pose. So feet together, your knees are either together or hip width apart, coming into child's pose. We're lengthening the spine here. Okay, and then let's come onto a seated position. Let's come into a twist. So let's come onto our butts, and we're going to come into a twist. Bring your right foot over your left knee, flex your left foot, and then bring your hand behind you. You're gonna bring your elbow to the knee, sit up really tall, inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. And this is really good for your organs, your digestive system. You're giving your digestion a really good squeeze. So this is good for digestion. This is good for detoxification because you're also giving your organs a really good squeeze. So make sure you take some deep breaths here. Because every time you inhale, you're pushing your belly out. So we're giving it like a little mini squeeze. Come back to center, release that. Let's do that on the other side. So bring your left knee, your left ankle over your right knee. Bring your hand behind you, bring your elbow to your knee, sit up really tall, inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. So this is really good for your digestion. You're giving it a really good squeeze. So take some deep breaths here. And then look forward, let's release that. And then come onto your back, bring your knees into your chest. So take some deep breaths here. So we're gonna come into eye of the needle. So you're gonna bring your right ankle over your left knee, bring your knee into your chest. Again, take those yogic breaths. So send your breath to any of those spaces that feel tight. And then release that, bring your knees into your chest again. Rock left and right, giving your organs a good massage. Okay, let's do that on the other side. It might be easier to bring your feet down. Bring your ankle over your right knee, and then bring your knee in towards your chest. So take some deep breaths. You may notice that one side is tighter than the other. That's normal. Just send your breath to those tight spaces. And then release that. Bring your knees into your chest again, and then rock and roll up into a seated position. Okay, and then let's come onto our knees, and we're gonna come into reclined hero pose. So coming onto your heels, and you can stay here. If you can feel the stretch, that's fine. We're stretching the top of the thighs. So if you feel the stretch here, you can stay here, or you can come down further. It doesn't matter how far down you come. You just want to feel the stretch in the top of the thighs.